Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This time, the discussion is going to be about Marvel Phase 4. Now I know Marvel Phase 4 isn't complete yet. It's not going to be complete for about another year. I think it ends at the end of 2023. But as we're approaching the summer of 2022, we have a lot of Marvel Phase 4 under our belts. With the Disney Plus shows and some of the films that have come out. I think it's okay to have a little interlude, brief conversation about Marvel Phase 4 before it's actually completed and have a more complete conversation when that time is right. But right now, it was just something that I was thinking about. What do you think of Marvel Phase 4? Now, you get a chance to answer this question in the comments. But I'm going to answer it right now, and I'll talk a little bit about it. Not too long on it. I have to say that so far, Marvel Phase 4, for me, I'm not saying it's, this is not a definitive judgment on Marvel Phase 4. But when I say Marvel Phase 4, let me just give you a little bit of a definition. It's all the movies up until, at least right now, all the movies up until Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and all the TV shows up until Moon Knight. Okay, so in that time period, we've had the Eternals, we've had SpiderMan, No Way Home, we've had the What If series, WandaVision, and so forth. Okay, so all the TV shows and all the movies up until Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Like I said, I know this is only, it's a little more. Is it a little more than half right now? I think we still have a little bit of ways to go before it's finished. But so far, I would say that I'm incredibly disappointed. It's just, I don't want to give too many spoilers, although there will be spoilers in this. Let me just tell you right now. And I'll give you a little spoiler alert if you haven't watched at least Moon Knight and Doctor Strange at this point. But I haven't been that impressed with what's going on in Marvel Phase 4. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, they're going in this direction or they're going in that direction and all that. For me, it's just a little difficult seeing exactly where they're going. I mean, I assume something with the multiverse. I assume something with like Secret Wars and all that. But for me, it's not as compelling as the original phases. Phases 1 through 3. It's not as compelling. It's not as interesting. And to be quite frank, even though we've visited previously used characters like the Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, some of these other introductions for me at the moment, they truly feel like they're Marvel's B team. These are the people that you call to hang out when your first friend doesn't pick up his phone or her phone or is busy that night. You call Shang-Chi. You call Moon Knight. That's just you call the Eternals. The Eternals seems like the D team to me. But whatever. That's just the way it seems right now. Now, by the end of Phase 4 or sometime during Phase 5 or whatever, this might change. But I don't know. It's just the way I feel. I'll go over a couple of things. Then I'll get to some spoilers with Moon Knight and Doctor Strange too. WandaVision to me was okay. I know, you read some of these reviews. A lot of the reviews are always great. Everyone does brilliant performances. It's such a bold new direction. There is some of that, absolutely, in WandaVision and many of the films that are part of Phase 4 and before that. But I don't know. It's just WandaVision was kind of hit or miss with me. There were some parts that were pretty good and some parts that just left me like, yeah, this doesn't seem that good. Loki was another thing. Loki was also very boring. And I'll be, like I said, this is the way I feel right now. When we were introduced at, I think it was the last episode, spoiler alert for those that haven't watched the Loki TV show. It was the last episode when we met the man that becomes Kang the Conqueror. He seemed like a goofball to me. Now, I know that's one variant or one version of Kang the Conqueror, and I know he's supposed to, excuse me, appear in the new Ant-Man movie that's coming out, one of the last movies of Phase 4, right? That character, the actor who played him, didn't do it for me at all. Just did not do it for me. It was just kind of goofy. I couldn't take him too seriously. Now, maybe that will change if he comes as Kang the Conqueror or Immortus. I don't know, but he's got a lot of catching up to do, in my opinion, because I just think it was just not good. Let's go to some of the movies now. The Eternals. I know the synopsis of Eternals. I watched half of it. I could not get through the whole movie. Now, some might say, well, you should give it a chance. Yes, I understand that. But the movie, to me, the plot, the direction, was that bad. I could not get through it. I just couldn't get through it. Shang-Chi was boring to me. I felt no connection to that character whatsoever. So, the only good movie that I feel, and this includes Doctor Strange too, the only good movie that I feel so far in Phase 4 was Spider-Man. It was, to me, the best Spider-Man. It had all the elements. Now, some of you might say, oh, why? Because it had a good ending. It had a good ending? Did we watch the same movie? What are you talking about, a good ending? Happy ending. Because a lot of these other films we could talk about, well, the ending wasn't so good, and then, might have been a little ambiguous and things of that nature, like WandaVision and all that stuff. Spider-Man No Way Home didn't have a happy ending. Oh, yeah, he said that the villains were saved, and we go, oh, we got a chance to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. That's great. And they did it so well. But you take a look at Peter. He lost his aunt. He has nobody. Everybody forgot who Peter Parker was, right? And, whatever it was that Doctor Strange did. What was it? People forgot Peter Parker was Spider-Man, which included his girlfriend and his best friend. I thought that was quite sad. Seeing him move into that lonely apartment at the end. No family, or at least as far as we know. No real friends. That wasn't a happy ending, but it was still a very good movie. I thought it was well done. It had some pretty good pacing. I know some may argue it didn't have such good pacing. Well, everyone has an opinion. We all do. And this is what this video is, my opinion, right? And you'll have your opinions that you'll share in the comments. But I thought that was the best one. I thought it was really well done. Really well done. And now I'll get to Moon Knight and Doctor Strange inside the multiverse, Multiverse of Madness. So some spoilers are coming up. So if you may not want to listen or whatever. I'll start with Moon Knight. It was okay. It was nothing to brag about. Something about like when you have Spider-Man or Captain America or Iron Man or Black Panther or some of these other characters. Now maybe in fairness, maybe Shang-Chi will get there and some of the Eternals will get there too. In fairness to those characters. But some of the characters I just mentioned, there was like a certain magnitude to them. There was a certain level of, they had presence, right? To me, Moon Knight had no presence. It just didn't fit. It just didn't fit. To me, it just didn't fit. It wasn't that great. And when I see something like that, I fear that that scenario that I just mentioned, that situation, might be the same with some other projects coming up. Whether it's TV or movies. I don't know how Blade's going to do. I don't know what's going to be going on with Ghost Rider or anything like that. But for me, Moon Knight was okay. It wasn't something like, wow, this is something I like to rewatch and rewatch. I'm like, once was enough. I understood it. It was okay. And that's it. Okay? And to me, again, this is all my opinion. I'm not telling you, by the things I'm saying, I'm not telling you don't watch it. Don't go see Eternals. Don't see Moon Knight. Don't see Shang-Chi. No, no, no. By all means, go see them, and you form your own opinions. But this is just my opinion right now. All right, and it may not necessarily be film critic quality or anything like that. It's just telling you how I feel, and that's the way I feel. Moon Knight was okay. Wasn't that great. Let me get to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. For me, all the, I know it's multiverse, right? You're going to deal with the multiverse, but my God, that movie at times was exhausting to go through, to watch. And something about it, and I got to say this, Ragnarok had the same feel. It felt off. Something felt off with this movie. Now, I know people that like San Raimi. I like San Raimi to a certain extent. I don't like Evil Dead, but I liked what he did with most of the SpiderMan movies. And I think he's okay, but so you take his personality, and obviously you're going to see it come through in Multiverse of Madness. That's not my complaint. It's just that something with the characters just seemed off. I know the Scarlet Witch was traumatized by the events of WandaVision, and then what she started doing in the movie, all this killing and all that stuff, and at the end, spoiler alert, she realized that she shouldn't be doing this. It just didn't seem right. Something just seemed off, and I wish I could give you a better explanation. Maybe some of you feel the same way and have a better explanation than what I'm giving you, but it just I didn't like it that much. And what else about that movie? Let's talk about the cameos, the Illuminati. Again, spoiler alert. To me, again, they all sucked. I mean, it was kind of cool seeing Mr. Fantastic. It was kind of cool seeing Professor X. But when I saw Professor X come out in the yellow or the gold, whatever the hell color it is, floating wheelchair. And then there was that one scene when they were judging their universe's Doctor Doom with the dead Thanos, not Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange. And you see the dead Thanos off to the side. And I was like saying to myself, my God, that wheelchair thing he has is so stupid looking. When you see it compared to everything else, it really looks dumb. And I was often said when I watched those the other X-Men movies where he was in the wheelchair and all that stuff, I was like, oh, why aren't they using the one from the comics, that yellow one? Then I saw it in the movie. I'm like, yeah, I understand why they're not using it, because it looks stupid. It really looks stupid. In a world of stupid things that are in those films, it just makes it seem a little dumber. And I was just like, oh, God. And Patrick Stewart, as much as we all love Patrick Stewart, and would have loved to have seen him as Professor X in a larger role in the Phase 4. I'm like, ugh, he's so old. And it just didn't look right. And his death, let's face it was stupid. We have the world's strongest telepath, right? Can kill you with a thought. Can freeze people over X amount of miles. But he couldn't tell the Scarlet Witch was coming up behind him? Maybe it's because he's so old and he's losing it. I don't know. This guy, Magneto wears a helmet so that Xavier can't get into his mind anywhere on the planet, but yet he couldn't tell that the Scarlet Witch was coming up behind him in that red mist. Maybe some people may argue, well, Scarlet Witch's powers, maybe, whatever that is, but it seemed off. That seems to be the theme with this film. It's just off. And poor Mr. Fantastic. We want to introduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU, and he gets scrubbed out within, 10 minutes? That doesn't really do the character too much justice. And all the other characters, Wanda takes them all out. God, she's that powerful? Why even form the Avengers? You could just send her after Thanos. The X-Men, future X-Men movies, Apocalypse is coming. Well, no big deal. You don't need the X-Men. You just send the Scarlet Witch. She'll kill him in a heartbeat. And I've said this. Superman, it's a good thing that Superman's a DC character, because if he was in Marvel, I'm pretty sure she would have killed him too. It was like, as my wife was watching it, and she likes Doctor Strange and characters like him. And she's watching it, and she's like, with movies like that, and she's watching it, and she was saying the same thing I was feeling. She's like, this is utterly ridiculous, this movie. It's so stupid. And it was stupid. I thought it was stupid. And again, one of these things like, oh, all the rave reviews and all that stuff. Most things get rave reviews now. Most things do. Everything is wonderful. Everyone praises the acting. I'm like, the acting wasn't that good. It wasn't bad. But it wasn't anything that says, wow, I remember that performance. So, I don't know. And, you know, to conclude, Love and Thunder is looking less and less appealing to me. Based on the way things have been going. It just doesn't seem like it's something... I don't know. I don't know. I'll see it. But I don't know where it's going, to be quite honest. But that's the way I feel about, you know, as you can tell, my opinions for the last two things, Moon Knight and Multiverse of Madness, really stuck out more than the rest. But I've just been noticing some things as I've been watching Phase 4, whether it's on TV or in film, and something's not adding up. And these last two things that I reviewed, Moon Knight and Doctor Strange 2, it's just like, oh, it's like just cementing the fact that, for me, things don't seem right. But again, we still have, about another year and a half left of Phase 4, I think. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, I don't know. We still have several films and a few more TV series. So maybe things will turn around. Maybe things will start to make sense towards the end. Maybe this is an unfair assessment of all the things I said. Perhaps. Time will tell. Time will tell. So how do you feel? How do you feel about Phase 4? Is there something about Phase 4 you really liked? Or is there something about Phase 4 that, like with me, like I said over and over again, just seemed a little off? Be interested in hearing. Take care, everybody, and thanks for watching.